responsible for putting on the Elk River Festival. We'd like to welcome you and just kind of go through a couple of things before the reenactment happens. At 12 p.m., just following the reenactment, at the courthouse, there's a chili cook-off, and they've been cooking since about 9 o'clock this morning. You can go through, I think it's $3 to sample and vote for the best chili. And then at 1 p.m., we have a pet show contest right there on the courthouse lawn. 1:30, we have the horseshoe pitching contest begins, and that runs pretty much for 2 to 3 hours. At 2 p.m., we have an ice cream freeze-off, and that's similar. You pay a donation, and you get a cup, and you get to try all the different ice creams and vote on the one that you think is the best. And then from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we've got adult games and some children games going on at 1. And basically, the adult games, we've got Mr. Crupper, who has graciously donated a couple of fishing poles and stuff, and we're going to have a casting contest. And then I have graciously donated a bunch of cow chips, and we're going to have a cow chip throwing contest and a little bit of distance and accuracy. And can anybody just tell me what's the world record in cow chip throwing? Does anybody know?
I can't hear you.
Oh, man, you're ambitious. It's about 179 feet, I think, is the record. So I don't think we can throw it off the courthouse square, but I may be wrong. But I've got a bunch of them picked up, and they are fairly dry, so it's not too big a problem. And so that's part of our adult games. And, of course, from 4 to 5 o'clock, the Benson Museums are open for touring also. And then at 5:30, we have the barbecue, and it's adults are $7, kids under 10 years of age are free, and all that money also goes back to the Howard Chamber to help sponsor events and everything. And we hope one of our major projects is to put up a digital or LED lighted sign up on the highway to advertise things that are going on in Howard. So, and we have also the button raffle and drawing at 6:30 p.m. So if you have a lot of $1 buttons, we give away a lot of prizes and stuff for that. And then our big thing is at 7 p.m. the vendors are going to be entertaining us. And just prior to that, our community choir is going to be singing. So as we're eating the barbecue, so we welcome you to stay around. And at this time, I'd like to introduce you to Ron Aiken. He is from Coffeyville, and he is part of the reenactment team.
Thank you, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Howard, Kansas, and welcome to the Old West. Throughout the 1880s and 1890s, there were many outlaws who became famous throughout the country for their daring exploits. Jesse James and his brother Frank. The Clantons and the McLowrys who melt their end down in Tombstone. And the Dalton brothers were stopped cold down in Coffeyville. There were many others who never became very famous but were outlaws just the same. One example would be the Cutler brothers from down in the Indian Nations, Oklahoma Territory. Thane and Thatcher Cutler were twins and were 37 years old in 1889. On September 5th of that year, they rode into Howard from the west on what is now Washington Street. They tied their horses on the west side of the stagecoach office over to my left. That placed the would-be outlaws across the street north from the Howard National Bank. They intended to enter the bank from the west door of the building. They didn't realize that one door east of the stagecoach office, that building, was Benson's Restaurant at that time, where Under Sheriff Tom Barton and Chief Deputy William Tyler were eating an early lunch. From their seats in the restaurant, they had full view of the Cutler brothers as they crossed the street. We open our live action with the outlaws riding into town from the west.
What? No, baby. Daddy's at work.
Come on out! Look, Thatcher, is that you? I'm fine. He's Thatcher. What are you doing in town today? I'm on the floor. What are you doing in our bank? It's money. It ain't happening today, Thatcher. None of this is happening today. We've got warrants for you out of the territory, too. You're not leaving town today. You're going to leave in irons or you're going to leave in a box. Get ready for it, kid.
When one of the town's citizens raised the alarm, the undersheriff and his deputy were ready for action. The outlaws came out of the bank with almost $9,000 in loot and were met by the brave officers. The rest is history. There were 12 firearms used in the fight and almost 90 rounds of ammunition were fired. The twins died right here in the middle of the street. There were no other injuries. And all of the town's money was recovered. This reenactment is a tribute to the brave law enforcement officers of Howard, Kansas. Thank you for allowing us to come to Howard and put on this reenactment for your enjoyment.